the NFL and the NCAA championship. I've been pretty right on that. Great game last night, though.
So who's your Super Bowl prediction?
Huh?
Who's your Super Bowl prediction?
Too early to talk about that.
But you just said you were right.
Yeah, we don't.
I'll get it right once we get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we
Who's your
ain't
favorite
picking
NFL
this
team?
early.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
I don't have one. You know, and the closest one to us was in Lynchburg, Virginia, was the Redskins. But
Right.
I'm a college guy, man. I love all college sports. That's what I do. I know you guys didn't come here to talk about that, though.
I don't know, this is kind of fun though.
It is fun. Just relax, man. Put your finger. We'll order pizza. We'll have a good time. Good. All right, who wants to start this?
Seems like it could be a very fast-paced game tomorrow. You never know how it's going to work out, but both teams like to push the ball.
You know, I've learned this over the years. When you think it's going to be a fast-paced game, it's going to be a low-scoring game. You think about our two scores. If I told you that we would score 54 points at Notre Dame, you would have flipped it and said that would have had to be the Virginia game. These games are so weird. It's different. On paper, both teams like to get out. Both teams like to run. I can see that, but I don't know. You know, we just obviously, you know, for us, we're just going to stay the course. We're going to try to play our style of basketball, which is trying to get out and run, and you know, obviously to get into our presses and we can score the basketball. When we score the basketball, it'll be great. You know.
Kevin, with all the perimeter options that you have, do you have a specific rotation that you like to keep, or do you go hot hand?
No, I think with this group, you go hot hand. You know, we don't necessarily, you know, I know DJ Horn is playing really good basketball, which is great. But on any given night, I feel like Casey can have a great night. I think Jake Taylor can have a great night. I think those three dudes really can, you know, get hot, you know, on a given night. And then, you know, we're substituting. Michael's doing a really good job of, you know, facilitating. He's not really looking to score the basketball, but it will be one of those three guys who can score the ball for us on the perimeter.
I think you've had 6 different guys this season already either lead the team or tie for the team lead in scoring. You ever had a team that balanced?
I don't know, but it certainly wasn't last year because, you know, those two guys could really score the basketball in 17, and then DJ Burns was sneaking there and be the leading scorer. I don't know that I've had it that way. It's settling in a little bit. You know, I've got a bunch of guys that I said at the beginning of the year I think could happen that all could be, you know, 12 to 15 points a game, and that's what they are. You know, we got 4 guys that I think on any given night can get us 12 to 15 points, and somebody can get hot and get a little bit more.
With Baycott obviously being a constant problem for you on both ends of the court, do you look to maybe start Ben Middlebrooks or VR tomorrow night to match up against them?
Oh, I ain't giving you the
Put a
game
big
plan. That's too early. This is going to be played everywhere. I can't tell you who I'm starting. We'll put a lot of different bodies on him. He is playing extremely good basketball. You know, last game, you know, before that, I thought he was playing just okay. They were more going perimeter than anything, and then they committed to getting the ball inside against a really good player, PJ All, and he ends up with 16 to 14. I don't think you can play him chip with one guy. You know, we're fortunate on this team that we got 3 guys that we run at him, but you'll see DJ, you'll see Mo, you'll also see Ben, all of them will guard him. But I ain't telling you who's starting him. I don't know yet. We got one more day of practice and a shoot around, so
Right.
depends on who plays well.
You know, the matchup problem seems like could be Harrison Ingram. He's kind of a different kind of guy, 6'7", 220. Just talk about the problem.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison is doing a really good job for him. It's more, they're actually running a lot of isolation plays for him where he's posting up and, you know, getting to his spot. You know, he's doing a good job. He's a good player. That was a great addition to their program because he can play some 4 and he can play some 3 for the guys.
We've seen a little bit of Diarra over the last 2 games since the break, but what's his status as of right now? I know you had mentioned earlier in the season an ankle injury, but where is he at right now from a health standpoint, and could we expect to see him a little bit more maybe tomorrow night?
Yeah, you know, if you think about this, Corey, he's back healthy. A lot of our games now will come down to the type of, you know, front line we play against. Boston College, you know, bigger guys. We wanted some guys to be able to switch off. This game, you know, obviously we play UVA, more perimeter pick and pop guys than anything. You'll see Mo, I think, more in this game. We need him to be a big presence around the rim. We need him to rebound the basketball. to be able to play. Against UVA, he would have been lost. We were running around, and then Ben started playing really well, and so we kind of went with those two guys. But when we get down to it, as MJ Rice learns more of a small forward, I don't want to play him as a fourth guard. I want to be able to play where we can have Mo more strictly at the power forward position, Ben and both DJ strictly at the center as we continue to go along.
Casey and DJ obviously have gone through the battles against UNC, and Middlebrooks has played them in a different uniform. Do you talk to the other guys, the newcomers, about what Wednesday night will be like at all?
Well, I leave it up to those guys. I really do. They, we as coaches, we create all of this. Hey, this is that. Players, man, these guys are, the Duke Carolina players are 25 minutes. I don't know exactly down the road. All these guys compete and play AAU. They know the competition. They travel in the same circles. They hang with the same. They probably even try to talk to the same girls at some point. So they know. I let those guys create that opportunity. We talk about, obviously, I'm more into, hey, scouting, this is what this is about. Obviously a great atmosphere because of who we're playing and where we're playing. Think about this now. We're the only, I think, conference that's got 4 Power 5 teams in our state who are all really good, by the way. And so it doesn't, the motivation is, here we go. We got a good team coming in. It is a team down the street that we got to be ready to play and be excited about it and be ready to go.
I know you kind of mentioned it there that you don't need the extra motivation for a game like this, but I mean, this is the first time since like 72, 74 that both of you all are, undefeated in ACC play. You don't need that extra motivation, but do you ever kind of take a deep breath and think how cool it is to be in college basketball history in this place?
Yeah, I'm grateful. I mean, think about this at NC State. When you drop 74 and anything you say, well, I get excited. I mean, 74 and 83 are magical numbers at NC State. So we're proud. A few years ago we'd run 5 road games, and that hadn't been done since '74. So we got excited about it. I think we were 4-9, and then we rallied off, and some of those are 4-8. So anytime, and that doesn't mean now that we're the 74 team or the 83 team, but when people start talking about records that you haven't done since that time, it says a lot about our kids and program, and it's hard to win in college basketball. And just think about that here at NC State. We are 3-0, hasn't been done since '74. So I give these guys a lot of credit, but now you got to move on and try to figure out how to get to the next one. That's what we do.
You just were talking, when someone was asking about the scoring depth, you were talking about things are kind of settling out a little bit. How much more settling out, I guess, is there? I mean, it's still early, the first week of January, basically, and there's still, you played games, but there's a long way to go. Like, how do you look at what you've got and how close it is to what you envision?
Yeah, we've had to, and we've had that. We're a little different than everybody, and I'll say this because we've had to add MJ Rice back. And so we try to get a little chemistry and figure out, all right, where can he play and be successful and not disrupt what we got going on. Everyone added the 2-time transfer, but in our situation, it ended up being 2 guys because of MJ Rice and now Cam Woods. So we try to figure them out. So our biggest thing is how to not disrupt the chemistry that we've already developed with a bunch of guys who have played together, and then add 2 really good players. And sometimes it's tough. Because those guys are good players too, but when you're playing good basketball, do you mess with that? How do you get them in? And that's been one of the things that as a coaching staff we're trying to figure out, all right, where can we insert this guy and he help us win games, opposed to just saying we got to put him in. You don't have those games now because the non-conference is gone, the scrimmages and the exhibitions are gone. You're in ACC play, and you can't tamper with a lot of things. So you just got to figure out how to do that. So that's been our biggest adjustment. I like the way that DJ Horn is playing basketball. He's starting to buy in. Jaden Taylor is, on the defensive end, he's become a monster. He's really good at it. And what's happening is he's learning how to defend and now score the basketball. It's kind of hard. It's not an easy thing. There's only been a couple guys that could do that. One of them being Jarkel Joyner, that could score the back, that could really pick you up 94 feet and then be able to score himself. He averaged almost 16 points, 17 points a game. Now Jaden Taylor's really figuring out how to do that. And usually you don't get that on your own basketball teams. You get the best defender, he's the best defender, but he may end up with 6 to 8 points opposed to averaging 12 to 14 points.
Kevin, have you seen any difference in R.J. Davis when you scouted him last year to where he's
Yeah,
playing?
it's so hard to believe that R.J. Davis has been in college for so long and he's having his best year this year. Like and when I say that, all of his years have been really good. But he is playing at a high level. I think he's leading our league in scoring. They play him on the ball, they play him with the ball in his hand. Probably the most dangerous guy in our league that, with the ball in his hand because he can create his own shot. But he's having a tremendous year, which is it's surprising because he's had great years anyway, but he's really playing at a high level right now.
He might be leading the free throw shooting too.
Is that right? Yeah, I want to say he was in the 90s or somewhere there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means we can't foul him.
You mentioned Jaden's defense, is that his guy?
Well, I think the way we play, you're going to see a lot of different people on it. Just like Baycott, we don't, most times initially when we pick you up and we're in a press, you're going to see initial guys, but they're going to be different guys that's on him. And, Casey will have an opportunity there. I've been trying to push Casey as, the best defender on our team. And I told him the other day I'm done saying that because last year I said it and Jarkel was the best defender. This year I said it now. JT, and try to motivate him a little bit just to be the second guy, which he can be, yeah.
The way you talked about the depth of this team too, it seems like the roles are what's really being established now at this point. How much are you seeing guys really buy into those roles now that the team's having success lately too?
Yeah, I think everybody is getting comfortable playing with one another. They're getting comfortable understanding that this is what we need. The one thing that this team we struggled with so much early in the non-conference is trying to figure out scouting reports and all that other stuff. Well, we've grown over the last month. Believe it or not, even though we didn't play well offensively at Notre Dame, that time after Christmas had us a chance to sit down and watch a little film. We got a chance to clean up a lot of things, and I think that's one of the reasons that we won the game against UVA. Where we've grown is we're starting to understand an offensive scout report. What do you have to do to score the basketball against certain teams, but how do you stop them? And, that's a maturity of the team. Even though we had some older guys, we were so new, 6 guys playing, adding 2 more, making it 8. We were almost like freshmen because everybody was coming from different programs, and that's what you're going to get. But we've grown in that area over the last month or so.
I saw earlier this morning that the 2 NIL collectives are coming together under one organization, Wolfpack, I think is what it's called. How does that impact you? Does that make things any easier for you?
Oh, that's great. I mean, I just bring all of that money from wherever it's at, and we can get it all. That's what I don't know. I'm grateful for anyone and everyone that donates to our collective. I have no idea how it will help well, I should say this, it can only help. I should say that, it's not going to hurt us. And the folks over at the collective, from what I've seen from a distance, have done a really good job for not just our basketball program, but all of our sports. And it's a must-have. It's you gotta do it in today's world. And I'm grateful and thank everybody in Wolfpack Nation that donates to the collectors. And I'm glad it can't hurt when everybody comes together.
The past few games, Michael O'Connell's minutes have gone up. He's got 17 assists. What have you kind of seen him kind of grow more comfortable now?
Well, he stopped shooting the ball, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, he started running our team. And what happens is when you shoot the ball and it doesn't go in, it affects you a little bit. Instead of playing to who he is, and now the ball's going in the basket. And so Michael's become very important because of the fact that we can move DJ Horn over to the 2 and let him score, but he's also a willing passer to everyone. He knows how to play. You think about his plays, he had a 3-point play, a 4-point play, didn't make his free throw, but late in the shot clock, he had a great drive where he got to the free throw line. So he's probably more of a pure point guard than I've had in a long time, and I'm actually liking the way he's playing basketball.
And you guys are one of the best teams in the country now taking care of the basketball. How does Did that, surprise you with the amount of new guys you added, this year? Or?
Yeah, but knock on wood, my teams, and I give the assistant coaches credit and everything else, knock on wood the last couple of years, and even before that, our teams, even the way we play, a lot of people handle the ball, we've always been able to take care of the basketball, which is really good. It says a lot about, our coaches and what they're doing with them, but, we value possessions and we try to win the possession game, so it's not great for us to force turnovers and then give it right back. So we try to, win that battle every time.